Right, very good evening. So, it is Friday night and Newcastle play tomorrow. Now, I recorded a song and that is Toon 2024. Now, that song is up on my channel and the inspiration behind the song was Eddie Howe and his black and white army. You see, I believe Eddie Howe will bring us our first trophy. And I want to give a special shout out because a lot of people made comments. And all those comments were about a fellow YouTube channel. And I was on there tonight. I was on there with Chippers 1990. There was Alex, Sam, and Paul Ditchburn. And yeah, I went on the show and I dispelled a few beliefs. You see, the thing is this, right? Yes, I do different things. Do you know why I do different things? Well, I'll tell you. You see, there's more to life than football. It is a massive part of most Geordies' lives. That's correct. It is. But life goes beyond St. James's Park. And as you know, or you should do by now, I do music. But I'm also pushing other things as well. Why am I pushing those other things? Well, a long time ago, I decided that I was going to do certain things. They were hard. Yeah, they were. No doubt they were hard. But I still achieved those things. And I'm proud of that. So when the time does come, when I get to 70, I can look back and I can say, yep, I did that too. Now, what I want to talk to you about is this. I said to Paul tonight on his show, I look forward to seeing him at 40,000 subscribers. Now, I want to tell you something, okay? And it's this. I embrace change. I don't run away from it. I'm not scared of it. Same as how a lot of the subscribers on my channel have turned around and said, oh, I wouldn't dare go on the Toon review. Well, I've spoken to Paul many times outside of St. James's Park. And he's a wonderful lad. Also on the show tonight was Peter Proudlock. And spoke to Peter a few times when I've been talking to John Sinclair of John Sinclair TV, another fabulous Newcastle channel. Now, I haven't been able to get up to St. James's Park. Yeah, you are correct. But here's the thing. Times change, as do we. We change. You know, years and years ago, I had jet black hair. Now look at us. Gone a bit silver, aren't I? Yeah. But I'm learning. And that's the important bit. Learning. You see, Paul seemed to think tonight I'm overstretching things. I'm pushing a boundary. Why? I want to see what happens if I am successful at pushing a boundary. And one thing I'll say to you all is this. From Adam Pearson, NUFC Matters and Steve Wraith, Matty Renton, Eddie Hope of Tyneside Life, Lee Lawler, Newcastle Fans TV, and every other YouTube channel, including one of the original Four Horsemen. Who am I talking about? Barry Thomas, through Black and White Eyes. Now, the reason why I mention all these people is because I have been and helped them, as I said to Paul tonight. I mentioned places where I've been in chat and I've shared and I've come back to chat, just like I did tonight. And you know, the one thing is this, right? Doing YouTube, it's hard. It is. Now, what I'm going to do in the next 6 months is a challenge. Yes, it is. But it's a challenge I am prepared to take. You see, I used to be a bus driver, and here's the thing. When I was a bus driver, yeah, people turned around and said, "Oh, he'll never last. He'll be here 6 months and then he'll be gone." Proved them wrong, because I did 11 years. And it was a fantastic job. I met some absolutely fantastic people. But we move on. Now, things you've got to look forward to are brand new apps. And these apps, the code is written. How is the code written? Artificial intelligence is the answer. Now, where does that relate to our club? Well, here's the thing. Our club linked up with a trading cards company. Newcastle United have our first team squad as trading cards. Can Newcastle United do better? Yes. Can Peter Silverstone, our COO, do better? Yes, he can. Our club can climb. Yes, they can. It means that the players I spoke to Paul Ditchburn about tonight, they have to perform. And what I mean by that is Harvey, Anthony, Bruno, Sean, Joe Linton, Jacob, Callum, and more. That's a lot of players. I've just mentioned it's a lot of players. And Sam brought this up. It is a lot of players. But here's the thing. We have goals in different positions in our squad. We have a defender, Fabian Shaw, who occasionally likes to get a goal. He's a defender. Dan Burn is capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. Would you agree? Yeah. Now, we also have Sandro Tonali. Can score, can play awesome balls to teammates, but they have to work together. And on the subject of tomorrow's game, I said to Paul tonight, I want a clean sheet first. Then I want Harvey on the score sheet, Alexander on the score sheet, and Anthony on the score sheet. Now forget that prediction, right? I was looking yesterday. We have 6 games in the Premier League, including we're away at Liverpool. We have Brentford twice, once in the Carabao Cup, where we have to beat them to go into the semis. And this is what I was talking about in the Toon Review podcast tonight, because I look on the bright side of life, where our players who I've mentioned put the ball in the back of the net, and our defence builds a brick wall. Get that ball over that brick wall and beat Nick Pope, or beat Martin Dubravka if Nick is injured. Now another thing was mentioned as well, and it's this. Chippers was on about what happens if we do play 2 up front and one of our strikers gets injured. Well, we go back to 1 up front, or we put Will Asula in. We give that lad the chance. I mean, let's be honest here. He's being paid a wage, correct? Now, he has played some good football. Give him the opportunity until January comes round. We have, including tomorrow's game, we have 7 games. And in those 7 games, we also have Carabao Cup, where we play Brentford, and we must beat them. We must. Now, I want to say this much, that all of the players I have spoken about when I was on the show tonight, they're not guaranteed to get 10 goals. No. That would be a perfect world, wouldn't it? But if they can get close, as I said with Harvey, he has 4 goals, so he's got 6 to find. Give the players the opportunity on the pitch, and as I said when I was talking to Paul, we change our formation. Why? Because the opposition is going to be expecting us to play a certain way. So if we mix it around, they're not going to know what's coming next. And like I sang in the song today, St James's Park with 52,000 people inside shouting, Toon, Toon. Eddie Howe's Black and White Army. Think about it. He's an English manager. Yeah? He saved Newcastle from going down, being relegated. And we have climbed the Premier League, 11th, and then 4th, and last season, 7th. And the one thing I will say to you all is this. All Eddie Howe can do is deal with the players in front of him. It would be magic to go, I'll have you from that team, I'll have you from that team. That would be magic, but it's not reality. Now, in 7 games' time, the transfer window is open. And if Newcastle decide to go for Mbembo or Mark Gahey or that lad from, is it Bournemouth, 20-year-old, these players moving forward from January, well, they have the opportunity to push. And I believe in it. Now, one thing I want to say to you all is this, because obviously I've been speaking about Newcastle United. Yeah? So, let's change topic. Now, a lot of people turned around and said about the new apps. They're not going to happen. Well, I'm sorry to pee on your chips. But Vo has one, and Vo does the coding because AI does the coding. And to check the code is spot on, it's going to get sucked into Webflow. And then it goes live. Geordie Nation, second channel. I'm going to edit a little bit because at this moment in time it is 8K. Well, 8K is about as much use as a chocolate fire god, isn't it? So 8K is going to get changed so that it doesn't happen. So all I got to do is edit that bit out, because that's how I wanted it. Reason why my phone, my Samsung S22 Ultra, can film in 8K, which is why I named the channel. However, 8K fell on its backside. But it doesn't mean to say the channel, which has no content, it will have content. Because one of the apps is Geordie Nation. And in that Geordie Nation, there's going to be YouTube. Why? All of the channels I spoke about earlier. In the hope that as the app grows and more people come on board, those YouTube channels I mentioned, Adam Pearson, etc., climb to 100,000 subscribers. That's how I'm going to do it. Because at the end of the day, I'm using smart technology to do what I want to do. Because when you spoke about how to build the new apps, yeah, I did listen. I did try several. Those several didn't work. These new ones, they started writing. Pardon me. So, another thing that was mentioned by Paul was about the music. Yeah? I do play a musical instrument. I do sing. Why? Because I want to sing. That song I played earlier today and I posted. It would be wonderful once we have the first trophy for the fans to sing that song to Eddie Howe, Jason Tindall and the rest of the back room staff at St James's. Now it could be that in 2025, as well as the two apps being launched, it could be Newcastle are going to build a brand new stadium. It's possible. But I'd rather stay at St James's Park. I'd rather we take away the constraints. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it would be nice to take away the constraints of the East stands, including the noisy part of the Gallowgate. The Gallowgate's my favourite part of St James's Park. So that would be nice. But we'll see what happens. And by the time, hopefully by the time that we find out what is going to happen with St James's Park, i.e. we're going to have a brand new stadium, Lees's Park or Diana Street or somewhere else in the city, or we rebuild St James's while we play somewhere else. Anything's possible. And we don't know what is in the feasibility study until it gets released. So 2025 is going to be a very, very exciting time. It's going to be really exciting for me because I'll have new certificates for the course that I'm doing at the moment, and very, very exciting for the course I bought the other day, because that course is special. Most of you believe the old wives' tales that cryptocurrency is nought, it's fantasy. Yeah, of course it's fantasy, mate. Of course it is. You believe it's fantasy because you're listening to people who are telling you it's fantasy. I know different. So, when they do get sorted out, there should be enough in the pot to do something I've always wanted to do. And if that happens, by the start of next season, I'll apply for a box. Yeah. Because I'll have proved beyond any shadow of a doubt that I can afford a box. Whether it's in St James's Park or whether it's at the new stadium, wherever that may be. I think if they are going to do a rebuild, they may look at Diana Street. Not saying they're going to go there. I'm just saying look, because it's big enough. So, going to be an interesting 6 months. So, to all of you wonderful people out there, here's the thing as well. Just remember this. Now, somebody mentioned today merchandise. So I'm going to ask you this simple question. Would you rather buy a knockoff or would you rather buy official? You see, the stuff I've got in my store, I designed that. You want to go and buy knockoff for about 10, 15 quid or whatever it is. One thing you're not doing, you're not supporting the channel. And people turn around and says about the quality. Well, here's a thing for you. Quality costs money. And that's the honest answer. You want quality products, you pay the quality money. If you want a cheap knockoff, go ahead. You buy the cheap knockoff from somebody who thinks they can make money. But I will say this much to that person. HMRC best know that what you're doing, because if you don't, you could be in some hot water trying to rip off somebody. Because let's face it, I've paid for the logo and redesigned that logo. Yeah, I paid good money for that. And I spent hours redesigning it so my subscribers could get good quality products. You want to knock off with $14.99 or whatever price? Just remember this. If you buy the t-shirts, how long they're going to last. Because the stuff I've done, it's premium quality. Anyway, enough said. I've said me piece. And the one thing I will say to the knockoff people is this. HMRC. Yeah. So, to everybody else, if you've hung around this long, give us a like, smash the subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your workmates, and tell those down the bar when you're going for a pint on a Friday or a Saturday. Because I want this channel to keep on growing. And the likelihood is I will be back on the Toon Review and other channels too. And 2025, these new apps, I'll be adding all of the current Newcastle United YouTube channels into these new apps so that I can help all of the other channels to hit 100,000 subscribers. So thanks for watching. Music tomorrow. Thank you.